Hello everyone, in this video I will be showing you how to make this beautiful turban. I will be making the turban first. This will be the V-band with straps for the turban. The measurement is 6 inches by 45 inches. 45 inches for the length and 6 inches for the width. Okay, this is the right side. I'll fold in half like this, then fold in half like this. Okay, I'll come here, I'll mark 5 inches. I'll curve it to this place. Then I'll cut them out. Okay, I'll open it up. Next, I'll take to my sewing machine. I'll sew from here to this place. But first, I'll make an opening to turn it inside out around the middle. Okay, I'll mark 3 inches for turning it inside out. That I'll sew from the edge, I'll sew from here, I'll stop here, then start from here and sew down here. Okay, this is it after sewing. Next, I'll turn it inside out. Okay, next I'll come to the opening I left before. I'll close it up. I'll top stitch on it. Okay, next, this is it after closing up the opening. Next, I'll fold in half and cut it. You can press it with iron after sewing. So I'll fold in half and cut it. Okay, then next I'll come here, I'll measure 2 inches and mark it. Then I'll slant it to this place. And see. Next, I'll cut them out. Then I'll place them like this here on top of this. Like this, you can see. Then I'll pin them. Take to my sewing machine. I'll sew from here to here. This is it. You can trim out here. Okay, this is for the body of the turban. This is my fabric and this is the lining fabric. you can use the same fabric as your lining. So the measurement is 24 inches by 16 inches. So I'll fold it in half, right side facing each other, and I will mark the middle. I'll repeat the same thing on the other fabric. I'll repeat the same thing on the band. I'll fold in half. Okay, next I will place one of the bodies of the turban, right side facing up. I will place the band. Then I will place the other body, right side facing down. That is, the wrong side is up here. You can see. And I'll pin them. I'll come to this place. I'll mark half an inch. Then I'll come to the other side. I will mark half an inch. Okay, so I'll take to my sewing machine. I'll sew from here. I'll stop at the half an inch mark, and I'll sew from here and stop at the half an inch mark. Okay, this is it. After sewing, you can see where it stopped. See the other side. So next, I will place it like this. Then I'll come here. I'll sew half an inch from the edge here. I'll sew half an inch, half an inch, half an inch. Then I'll stop here. You can see, just before the band. I'll sew from here. I will leave here open, and I will leave here open. Okay, this is it. After sewing, you can see, I will turn it inside out from any of the opening. Okay, this is it. So next, I'll take to my sewing machine. I'll fold here in. You can see this opening. I'll fold it inside. Then I'll top stitch on it. I'll take to my sewing machine, sew here, then fold here too, and sew. I'll close it up. Okay, this is it after top stitching it. Okay, this is the right side of my turban. I'll fold it like this. Then I'll come here. Okay, then from where I sewed the band, I'll measure 2 inches, and I'll mark it. Then I'll take to my sewing machine. I'll sew from here all the way to here. Okay, this is it after sewing it. Then next, I'll make a running stitch from the 2 inches mark to this place. Then I will pull it to gather them and knot it. This is it. So for the padded frame, I'll measure the length of my turban body. Okay, I have about 23 inches, so I'll be using 24 inches. that is plus seam allowance. So I'll be using for my fabric, I'll be using 24 inches by 6 inches. Okay, I'll be adding interfacing to it. You can use any interfacing of your choice. I'm using a medium weight warden for mine, and the measurement is 22 inches by 6 inches. So I'll place it. You can see the way I place it, 1 inch here and 1 inch on this side, on the wrong side of the fabric. Iron your interfacing to your fabric. Fold it like this. Then next I'll take to my sewing machine and I'll sew from here to the end. But first I'll make a 3 inches allowance here around the middle to turn it inside out. So I'll take to my sewing machine, I'll sew from here, I'll stop here, then continue from here to the end. Okay, this is it after sewing here. Okay, you can see the 3 inches opening I left here. So next I'll come to this place, then I'll place this sewn part at the middle. You can see the way I placed it. I'll pin it, I'll hold it with pin. I'll repeat the same thing on this side. Okay, then I'll take to my sewing machine, I'll sew 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch on this side. Okay, you can see it after sewing. Next, you can trim out this excess part to avoid unnecessary bulkiness. Okay, then next I'll turn it inside out from the opening I left earlier. Okay, this is it after turning it inside out. You can close up here with your needle and thread. And see, so this side will be facing directly on the turban. Okay, so I'll come here, I'll measure 2 inches from the edge here and mark it. I'll repeat the same thing on the other side. I'll repeat the same thing on the padded part. 2 inches. And on the other side. Okay. So next, I'll place my padded band on my turban. You can see on the mark. Then I'll start tacking it. I'll start tacking them together. Okay, I'll pick it in a way that it will not come out from this side. You can see. I'll pick. I'll start from the 2 inches mark. I'll continue like that till I get to the other side. Okay, this is it after tacking to my turban. Next, I'll come to the edge here. I'll come here, I'll pick it up and plait it. You can see. Then I'll place it at the edge of the turban body. Then I'll take to my sewing machine and sew it and sew them together. I'll repeat the same thing for the other side. Okay, this is it after sewing them. You can see. I'll set aside. Next is to make the ruffle part. Okay, but first I'll make the circular base where I'll attach the ruffle part. Okay, I'll cut out two 5 by 5 inches square in two places, 5 inches by 5 inches. I'll place them together, right side facing each other. Next, I'll fold in half, and I'll fold in half again. Okay, then I'll come here. I'll measure from here 2 1/4 inches till I get here. Okay, then I'll connect the marks. Then I'll cut it out. Okay, then I'll open it up. This is what I have. Next, I'll take to my sewing machine and I'll sew 1/4 inch round, but I'll leave a 1 inch space to turn it inside out. Okay, this is it after sewing 1/4 inch round. Next, I'll turn it inside out through the 1 inch opening I left. Okay, then I'll fold here inside. I'll take to my sewing machine and top stitch it. Okay, this is it. Next, I'll fold in half like this and fold in half again. Then I'll mark the middle. You can see. Then I'll open it up. Then from the middle point that I just marked now, I'll measure 1/2 inch. I'll mark 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch till I get to the end. Another 1/2 inch. You can see. I'll come to this side. I'll mark it again. 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, and 1/2 inch. Come to this place. I'll mark it again. 1/2 inch. I'll come to this side. I'll mark it again. Okay. Okay, this is it. So next, I'll come from the middle mark. I'll connect it to this 1/2 inch. Then I'll continue to connect them together. Just watch what I'm doing. You can see. Then I'll start connecting them. I'll connect it to the 1/2 inch round. Okay, when I get to the first 1/2 inch, I'll connect it to the next one. You can see. I'll continue like that. Okay, you can see it. Next, I'll measure the length of the line on the circular base. Okay, I have around 20 inches, so I'll add 3 inches extra to it. So I have 23 inches. So okay, this is for the ruffle part. The measurement is 4 inches by 60 inches. So I'll fold it like this. This is the right side. I'll fold like this, and I'll take to my sewing machine. I'll fold in half, take to my sewing machine and sew here, and sew the other end. Okay, this is it. After sewing it, you can see I'll turn it inside out. Next is to make a running stitch from here. You can see from here to here, and gather it to the measurement I got here. Remember, I got about 20 inches and I added 3 inches to it, and I have about 23 inches. So I'll make a running stitch and gather it to 23 inches. So I'll double thread my needle. Okay, this is it. Okay, this is it after making my running stitch. Next, I'll gather it to 23 inches. Okay, this is it. So I will knot it. Okay, next I'll arrange my gathers. Okay, after arranging my gathers, I'll start sewing it on this line. I'll follow it till I get to the middle. So I'll take to my sewing machine and I'll place and I'll start sewing it on the line. Okay, this is it. When I get almost to the end, you can see the remaining part. You can see it's just remaining here. I'll take the remaining part of my strip. I'll turn it like this. Then I'll place it like this and sew with my sewing machine. You can see. So I'll take to my sewing machine. Okay, this is it. After sewing it, you can see. So next is to attach it to my turban. I'll be attaching it on the padded frame. I'll measure 6 inches from the edge. I'll measure 6 inches. You can attach it on any side you want. Okay, I'll be placing the center here, and I will tack it with my needle and thread. Okay, after sewing it, I'll knot it. This is it. My turban is ready. Thanks for watching.